Welcome to Go Play Esports Podcast with Christopher Turner, Go Play founder and CEO, esports coach at the Southern University Lab, and gamer. Discussions on the emergence of esports at the K-12, collegiate, and professional level. Let's go! Let's go play.
Welcome, this is your host, Christopher Turner. It's another episode of Go Play Esports where we cover everything from K-12 esports all the way to the professional level. This is going to be a special show. Everybody knows that I'm in love with 2K, the whole NBA 2K formula, the way that you can build your player, you can customize your player's story. I think they did a good job of integrating, viewership, partnered up with the NBA, and today's just going to be another special guest, man. He's actually one of the first ones to get drafted into the league. His hometown is Milwaukee. He got drafted into the league by Knicks Gaming, which is the New York Knicks gaming portion for NBA 2K League. Was retained by the Knicks again in the 2019 season. Champ of the ticket matches in 2K for the first season, and he's a champion as far as the whole 2K league is concerned. Got to raise that trophy at the end of that season, and just did an awesome job merging himself into the culture, being a leader and being a staple player for that franchise. Without any further introduction, I'm going to invite Ye. Some of you know him by Ye. If you watch the 2K League little season, it was Ye Not Gaming. So I'm going to introduce him into the show right now. What's going on, Ye?
Hey, what's up, man? Thanks for having me.
Oh, man, coming on, man. I know you're busy, you have family, and we just wanted to bring you on, man. I wanted to celebrate your accomplishments and what you accomplished within the league. Being, it's only the third season, but being a staple in the league, man. So I wanted to let's just dive into it, man. Tell everybody a little bit more about you before you actually got introduced to the league, like where you're from, and give us a little background.
Oh, yeah. I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, was born and raised there. After I graduated high school, I went to Ball State University in Muncie, Indiana, where I got a scholarship. Not full ride, but just enough to be able to pay back within like a few years afterwards. We're still working on it, and I graduated with a marketing degree and interpersonal relations minor. And right out of school, I did a lot of like door-to-door sales, and eventually got a job at C.H. Robinson, which is third-party logistics, and that's what I was doing before I made the 2K league. And in college, when it came to 2K, I played like one-on-one matches on Gamer Saloon for like $5 a piece, something like that, a quick match. Did that for a while. Made a little money on the side, and then once the actual league was introduced, I was able to put together a pro-am team with a few of the guys I met through playing park and playing at the Jordan Rec Center back in 2K15 days and walk-on and stuff. And had a good group of guys to help me get better day in and day out until I got drafted to the Knicks, which was a dream come true.
So, tell me, man, like, what was the process of, like, you mentioned pro-am, the rec center, and grinding in park and all of that. And I'm a player of the game as well, man, so I know. Mm-hmm. What was your reaction when they first introduced that email that, hey, we're teamed up with the NBA, it's going to be some teams? What was your thought process behind that?
Oh, yeah. I remember seeing Adam Silver announce it, that there was going to be a 2K league, or at the time it was like the E-League or whatever, and that's what everybody was fascinated with. And I remember watching the 250K tournament where it was Steel Trio with Dimes and Kenny Got Work, and those guys played against Throwdown, which was like my coach on it and Moody and those guys. And I remember watching them play, and I was like, they're not doing anything that I don't think I can't do. I think I can play at this level. I remember watching them, and I was like, I just got to tweak some things here and there. And I'm like, in terms of like getting baited and like knowing when to shoot and when not to shoot. when that's pretty much what I focused on. After that, I started getting into more comp matchups. We started playing tougher players. I started watching a little more streams and seeing what I had to do to get better at like the guard position and just be more knowledgeable in defense and knowing how to rotate and do all those things. And I was able to have a good combine period. And I think I was fully prepared going into the combine, and then I just went in with the mindset that I'm just going to put it out there. I'm going to do everything I can, and I just got to live with the results. And if it's not enough, then I got to come back harder next year. And I was lucky enough to get in.
How were you? You said the word prepared, and I get that. Like I tell people all the time. My wife always tells me, "Perfect practice makes perfect," and I get that full-hearted. But going into that combine, man, I don't think a lot of people knew that you're going to be playing with randoms. It's going to be hard for team chemistry. Some people might not have a mic. So walk us through that, man. Like how did you overachieve that and be able to kind of showcase your talent within all of that madness?
Well, in terms of that, I was lucky enough to be like it was like 2K18 when the league was a combine year for the first season, and I did a lot of walk-on leading up to it, like a month wide. So like I would get on the mic and just try to be like the best teammate I could be, and just try to get people involved and just try to communicate. That way, going into the combine, I was already used to like dealing with like different personalities and like guys wanting to be a star and guys wanting to like just play the game and just try to get better game in, game out. So I was able to deal with the guys without a mic. Sometimes I had to take over at point guard when I was a shooting guard, and sometimes you just had to do whatever you had to do to alleviate some of the pressure off of the PG when he was getting killed on offense or defense without communicating. So like it really showed the people who were bringing the guys into the league that how to act in certain situations that is good for being in a team when you're like going into a new market and dealing with these personalities. So if you can show that you do it, you can do it with randoms, then you should be able to do it, communicate well with like the actual good people. So lucky enough, they were able to hear me and the way I communicated and the way I played, and think I was made for the league.
And we're talking about almost close to 3 years ago, but do you remember where you were when you got that notification that you had made it through the combine and that it was official that you're going to be in the draft?
Yeah, I remember for the 250, that they narrowed it down to 250, and I was playing pro-am, and I got an email saying, like, congratulations, you're in the 250. And I didn't even know they were handing it out that day, so, I kind of got it. And then, like, the first words were congratulations. I was like, oh, snap, like, I got in the 250. I was like, oh, okay. Like, now I got to get ready for the interview stuff. So, and then for the 102, I was at work, and it was, like, close to the end of the day. It was, like, 4 o'clock or something like that. And I saw the tweet. They're like, oh, they're sending out emails now, or sending out calls now. And I was like, freaking out for, like, 15 minutes. And my phone was going to die.
Right.
I was like, all right, let me charge my phone. And I, put the volume all the way up, put it underneath my desk. And I couldn't barely concentrate. And I was like, everybody was, like, looking at me like, I was like, you all right? I was like, man, we're going to see. And then, after 15 minutes, I got a phone call, and it was from a New York number, so I took it and ran into the break room. And they called me, and they were just like, oh, we just want to hurry up and tell you that, like, congratulations, you made it into the 102. And I came out, like, giving everybody high fives and shit, so it was awesome.
Right. That's awesome, man. It's good to hear your story, man, because, I'm a working class guy, too, and you're not just, the typical gamer, man, they want to put it out there like, they just sit at home and they stream and, they tweet and post all day, and that's all that they do, man. To know that you have a skill set in a particular area and was able to work your way up and different things in life to prepare you to get to that point, man. It's just an awesome story to hear. So, you get those calls. Walk us through, like, as far as, like, after that communication, what was the next communication? Like, when did you, learn about, like, the draft day? Where were you? Like, that whole process. Because I know you had to wait on that phone call, but it was probably a good little wait for that round 3 9th pick.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Great. A good thing about my situation, I had parents that understood how I felt about it going into the combine, and once I got further and further in the process, they started to read up on it more and more and see how legit it was. So I had a lot of support behind me as well, like my girlfriend and my child, and her mom was supportive. So I was all in at that point, and then going through the whole interview process with the different teams was a lot of fun. And then you kind of look at the different markets to see what you want to get into once you go to here. If I go to Miami, what I'm going to do there. So that was fun.
Mm-hmm.
And but actually going to the draft, I brought my sister and my best friend with me, and I remember being in that room, and I knew I wouldn't get picked. I think the earliest I thought I would get picked is the back-to-back with the Mavericks in the second and third round. But I knew I'd kind of be third round, fourth, early fourth at the latest. And then that room is cold, man. Sitting in that chair.
Yeah.
It's the MSG in the Hulu Theater. And I was like, man, this is freezing in here. I was in that chair, and I was stiff. I had no snacks. So I was kind of uncomfortable. And my phone was dying too. So I remember I got a phone call. I got a text message from, I think it was somebody from the Bucks. It was we'll see you Wednesday or something like that. And I was like, oh man, I'm going back to Milwaukee. And then the pick right before the Bucks, the Knicks took me. And then I was like, oh snap, I went to New York. And then I was super surprised because the interview I had with the Knicks didn't go that great. It was very bland, and it was tell me your time when you did this. Tell me your time when you did this.
Wow.
It was kind of basic, so I didn't expect to go there, but I was happy I did.
Oh man, so after the draft, man, and this whole interview is to give everybody an insight on how to operate as a professional, and particularly your experience, man. So after that stance, man, talk us through the season, you flying out to New York, being in the gaming house, that whole trip.
For flying to New York, it was kind of surreal because I never thought I'd be living in the big city, and I never been in New York before the draft, so it was a lot to take in at once. And especially moving in with 5 guys that I'm all older than. I'm not used to being the old guy. Where everybody's 5 years younger than me. Yeah. So I'm the dad of the whole situation. And I got to talk to these guys and get to know more about where they come from, the different backgrounds, dealing with the different personalities. Guy like Nate Call, season 1. He's from Milwaukee. He actually lives less than a mile around the corner from my parents' house. So, whenever I'm in Milwaukee and he's in Milwaukee, I go hang out with him to this day. And, guys like Goofy and Idris are, from the South, and they act differently, us Midwestern cats. And then, we got Kuda, who's, famous. He, did videos and, did photography, and, he's into all these different things. So, getting to know all these cats was really cool. And then once we actually got on the sticks, going into before the ticket tournament, it was all it was a bunch of issues. We couldn't figure it out, trying to figure out lineups that work, shot mechanics that work, all that, all set offense, a set lineup that will get us ahead. And then we didn't figure it out until a week before the ticket tournament. And then I think that's when we started with the Shot Sharp lineup with Kuda going Shot Sharp when everybody was playing playmaking. They was on Play Sharps. And then we took over the whole league at that point until the end of the year. And it's crazy how we kind of bought in. Once everybody, it showed us how if everybody buys into a system, everybody knows their role, and they know they got to be the best at what they do. That's where championships are born. You saw it again in season 2 with the Timberwolves.
Man, yeah, it was insane, man. And just watching y'all, man, that 3 for y'all was bananas, man. Y'all were able to do that all season and break up defense, man, and drive when y'all needed to. So, you mentioned being the dad of the group, man. If you go back and you look at those tapes, man, you look at interviews and stuff like that, and just being a team, you can tell that you were definitely a leader. And I feel like Knicks Gaming actually bought into that whole format of you being almost like a mentor or older brother to these guys. walk us through like how you developed that, and like how was practice